Yo, yo, yo. Just tapping in. What's up, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in and joining us for another episode. Waiting for our host to get in here, get situated. Here he is. School. Del Reezy. Dear fathers. How's everybody doing this evening? How's everybody's Sunday been going? See, you got people in the building coming in. Y'all come on in. Waiting for our guests to get situated. We're going to get another great episode kicked off. Got a special guest. See where my man is at. Yes, accept his request. William, I just accepted you, sir. Send him another invite. What's up, King? How y'all doing? Boom, send another one. Easy and quiet. It's a soft Sunday. It's supposed to be easy and quiet. There he is. How we doing today?
My God, man, pleasure to be here.
Yes. Pleasure to have you, my man.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. How's your Sunday been?
It's been super lazy.
I was just telling one of our community members here, dear fathers, that it's a soft Sunday. It's supposed to be real light.
Hey, that's one of the important things about this balance thing, right? You gotta know when to chill out.
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started. We have a very special guest. In case you don't know, we are Dear Fathers, the premier platform for promoting, fatherhood, Black excellence within the community, especially bigging up our Black men and what they do each and every day out here on the field. We got a special guest, Mr. William Locke. This man is the VP and site leader of Bank of West. If you need business tips, financial tips, this guy has a lot of years of experience, and he'll be more than happy to help direct. We're going to touch base about some finances, some fatherhood, life in general, and just kind of kick things off. So, Will, for those who don't know what it is and what your background is, kind of give the people at home a little glimpse and insight of what you do.
Man, your energy got me excited. You know, when you do it there, it's like, oh, that is me, huh?
I'm a financial advisor as well on a note, but...
Oh man, we'll talk offline. We'll talk offline.
Yeah, we'll talk offline.
Yeah, first and foremost, when we chopped it up over DMs, I got excited about this. You know what I mean? I love what you guys are doing. I think the platform is great for not only society, but just like what we need in general during right now, right? But for me, you know, I've got experience in parenting. I've got experience in work in general, within the banking space, but also just key values and principles that have kind of helped me shape my career. That's been really wonderful, honestly. I just use opportunities like this to give back. You can tend to have a reputation for a lot of things, but this is the thing that I really get excited about, especially, you know, for fathers, for Black men, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, that's what really pushes me to like really get it going. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you guys having me on this, and I'm looking forward to an insightful convo.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to it too, and thank you for joining us. Want to kick things off, and you know, we mentioned that you are in the the financial realm and banking industry. How important as a father, as a parent in general, for financial literacy, especially for our Black and brown babies? You know, what is your level of importance?
I think this froze up.
Can you hear me, Will?
Oh yeah, now I can. You froze up.
Okay, perfect. My bad. I was asking, you know, when thinking about the realm and the financial world in which you come from, how important is financial literacy for our Black and brown babies, and what are some things that you instill in your household?
Man, that's a loaded question right there. What's interesting, if you even remove ethnicity or race from that question, we're not really taught, right? in general as a society. Like we're in the middle of a house market crisis and a number of things that people really don't even know what that means, right?
Yeah,
I would say the importance is more critical than the things that we are taught, right? Because we're taught principles, you know, math, English, whatever. But it's like, okay, once you're out in the real world, what really matters? You know, your credit score matters, your
absolutely.
your liquidity and your assets matter, your all of that matters. But then how do you do it, right? So even for me, you know, I'm just above 30, and
Still got time.
yeah, yeah. But even me, you know, good credit, good income. My home buying process was crazy. And if I didn't know what I knew, I mean, I'd probably give up. I'd probably feel frustrated, etc.
Sure.
So I would say just, you know, having that acumen of the things that you need to take care of, whether it's an apartment or financing your first car, or getting a secured or unsecured credit card, like all of that is super key. And it's all been a part of, you know, my own personal journey through trial and error or through my professional experience, that if I didn't have it, my life would be completely different sitting in my living room right now of a
Yeah,
home, right?
yeah, yeah. You know, it's so crazy that you say that because, you know, you think about just taking color out of it. We're not taught this. We know we're taught to be kept in the closet on certain things, and certain other things are important, but these are key principles and lifelong values that need to be instilled so that you can know how to move out here in the real world. I guess from a parent standpoint, what are some things that you're trying to instill in your children early to kind of, you know, put them on the right path and maybe, you know, speed up their learning curve?
You know, that's a good question. My kids have a piggy bank that
Okay.
they bought me this big bucket that says "Best Dad Ever" on it. But
Wow.
ultimately, as a parent, you know, nothing is yours anymore, right? So
Nothing.
what we do is any coins and stuff that they have, we put them in the bucket.
Okay.
And the bucket has become this like really cool like piggy bank idea, right? And so two of my boys, my two oldest are my boys, and my youngest is my daughter.
Okay.
They are completely about money, like which I appreciate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know how many V-Bucks they can get on Fortnite, but
Right.
one thing is like they have household chores and stuff. Like they got to do like, you know, dog poop in the backyard. They got to make sure the bathroom's clean after they're done out of it. But there's a financial reward out of it. And
Okay.
when they're getting their money, the first thing that I ask them is, "What are you gonna do with it?" Right?
Right.
And they've dialed it down now to, "Well, I'm gonna save some." Right? And I think that's one of the biggest keys. Is I learned many years ago, pay yourself first. And people are like,
Absolutely.
myself, it's like, all right, if you get $1,000, you know, take 15% of that, put it aside for
Yeah.
yourself. Savings,
Yeah.
a 401k, and you can go any route with that, right? It can come before
Sure.
you see your check or whatever. Pay yourself first. And my kids, they get that, you know what I mean? And I didn't want to teach them panic or fear, right? We're not saving money for a dark day. We're saving money so that when those dark days do come, it's we put ourselves in a position to respond to that, and it's not like, hey, I'm asked out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that, and how to make your money work for you. You know, my sons, they help me do yard work, and we do it before and after. So we look at the yard before, we're like, all right, and then we look at it after. And after, it's like, I teach them that this is an investment, right? They had a
Yeah.
and their friends all came over, and I'm like, how do you want your friends to see your dwelling, your living space, right? That's different than clean up the house, right?
Sure.
So this
Sure.
own this. This is an investment. If you pass this on, or if I pass on, I give this to you. How you want it to look, right? So I think it's
Yeah. I'm so glad to hear that you are still in those, you know, those key and core values into your children, man. This is definitely important. The younger we do it, the better off they are and well prepared for success, you know?
oh yeah, they're gonna be cold. They're gonna be
Oh,
cold.
they're going to be cold with it. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. Look, as soon as somebody hit them with some money, what's the ROI on that?
it's over our heads, right?
Yeah. As a father, what is that feeling like knowing that you've worked up until this point, you were the guinea pig to set things up for your family as a father. What does that mean for you being in a position to be able to give them these experiences and have the knowledge to even explain these things to them? What does that make you feel like?
Man, the word that I think of is intentional. You know what I mean?
Mm,
My
yeah,
parents weren't afforded any opportunities. You know what I mean? So a lot of what I learned, both of my parents have passed away. You know what I mean? And so
yeah,
even, you can only do with what you know. Ignorance is bliss, right?
yeah,
So there's a lot of purpose in what I do. And that's what really keeps me humble than being like, oh, yeah, I got it. Like, da da da, I'm this, I'm that. Like, titles and all that, that doesn't matter. It's, being able to learn and implement too, right? Because you got a lot of people that they might have that title, they may have that degree or that money or that entitlement or whatever, but don't do anything with it. I'm on the opposite spectrum where it's like, man, okay, I made it, but I'm still not there. So
yeah,
one thing I try to
yeah.
teach kids is humility and
Okay.
and also how to help others. One of the biggest things that got me here is being able to serve others. It's servant leadership, right? It,
Yeah,
I run an organization of hundreds of people, but anybody that I talk to will tell you it's just like this, right? It's straight up like, what do we need to do? What needs to happen? How do we do it? You know what I mean? And there's strategy, there's blueprint, there's all these things, but the thing that I'm most grateful for is that I can be that, for my family and say, hey, here's how we do it, and
yeah,
also living it, right? Because that's twofold. It's I could sit here and tell you any and everything I want, but until you see
right.
somebody, that's what they pay attention to more than your words.
Yeah. Teaching them life lessons as well as how to execute. Yeah.
Man, execute. I like that. I like that.
Execution is key. Yeah.
I need to be
I
taking
guess,
you, man.
no, I got to take notes from you, man. You got it. Hey, I want to ask you this, knowing that Dear Fathers is the premier platform for celebrating Black fatherhood, what does fatherhood mean to you?
Man, growing up I guess I'm labeled as a millennial, so we get like the best of both worlds, coming out.
Hey, look, me and you both, I'm on the tail end. Let's
Yeah.
take it.
It's fatherhood, how it was painted to me was like a I don't know, it's gonna sound messed up, but like an incentive, right?
Mm,
Oh, you have a father? That's dope. Because a lot of people don't, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
So, ironically, having a challenged childhood without a father present made me being one that much more important. And like at first, I think it was subconscious. It was like, I never had a dad, so I'm gonna be the best dad ever. But you can have a mission until you start doing it. And with my oldest son, just being with him and like figuring out like, oh man, is he hungry? Does he have gas? Like what's going
yeah,
on?
yeah,
That process, you could apply that to anything in life, right? Like with a job or a new car, whatever. Um, that right there was like, oh wait, let me take a step back. Let me not be mission motivated and be present, right? So
mm,
being present taught me more than what I didn't have, what I needed to know, etc. Like when you're intentionally involved and you're like, okay, you're my person, you're my project, you're my career, whatever. I'm gonna focus on this. I'm gonna do whatever I can that's best for you.
yeah,
Basically, that is what modeled my entire fatherhood versus any book or whatever another dad or parent could tell me, whatever.
yeah,
Just really tapping into what's in front of you and understanding what their needs are.
yeah. It's so crazy that you say that because I think of my own experiences with my father and my childhood. My father had one foot in, one foot out, and here it is, me and you were trying to be the better man, you know, there's no manual to this thing, but do the best that we can do. We're in a position to give, so we think that's what we do, and our time could be placed in other areas. So I can wholeheartedly agree with where you're coming from and what you're saying, man. I love that.
Man, emphasis on time in other areas, right?
Man, emphasis, big emphasis. Now listen, you got 3 critters. I call my critter. You got 3 beautiful critters running around there, man. What's a day in the life like at your residence, man? What's going on in the household? Give us a little glimpse.
If you would ask me that question 2 years ago, you know, working in the banking sphere,
Mm-hmm.
I have a corporate office, right? That's
Okay.
near where I live. You know, back in 2019, we made a decision that, you know, we'd allow all of our employees to work from home. I went under, so I work from home, right? Doesn't matter who. If you work from home, that's a big dynamic, right? It's a big dynamic. So I have 2 kids that are in school. I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Okay.
9-year-old's in the 3rd grade. My 6-year-old is in kindergarten. My 6-year-old, and I want to drive this point home because it's an unpopular thing sometimes, is to do things that you know are challenging, but you do them for the benefit of other people.
Okay.
My 6-year-old, he just turned 6, or he's about to turn 6. He didn't go to preschool. So to put him in the school environment, we decided that he should do half days. School offers half days versus full. So my 3rd grader does full days. My 6-year-old does half days. Pre-COVID, all that was from home too. So, you know, as a parent, you think you're making a good decision, like, okay, great. Yeah, let's do this. Sounds great. No, you're going to get your half day experience in. Well, now that's 2 pickups from school because they're back in school, right?
Right.
So
Right.
is super early, breakfast, clothes, brush teeth, vitamins. Did you remember your backpack? You know what I mean? To
10
school.
a.m. meetings, conference calls.
Yeah. And my daughter's the youngest. Anybody with a daughter will know there's nothing I need to say more than that. Than it's a daughter.
The daughter. Daddy's girl.
Yeah, my daughter's 4 now, and so she's home with me during the day when I'm working from home. And so it's that intentional mixed with I have to run a whole business, mixed with I got to get back to the school twice, mixed with, man, I got these crazy deadlines, conference calls, people calling me, asking me for stuff, tuning in to my daughter, making sure that she's got things in place for her.
Yeah.
Insanity.
Crazy. Yeah.
And I'm able to say that now because, you know, you either do it or you don't, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to come to my rescue of like, oh my God, I got so much going on. What am I going to do? It's like, you got to do it. Yeah. So I think the last 2 years have been a juggling act of like, how do you make that happen with this happening? And then don't forget about yourself, right? What about you? What do you need? And juggling all that has been absolutely insane. Like I can't even, there's nothing I could say that could emulate it, but I've gotten it down now, at least that I'm confident to say.
Getting in a routine is key, you know. It's crucial, man.
I wrote that down actually.
See, we on the same page, man.
This is scripted. Me and you, this is our first time talking, right? Like,
yeah.
I actually wrote down structure routine.
Hey, you need it, man. You got to know where you're going, especially with those type of days. And, you know, just think about the pandemic and everything you just explained with your family situations. Like you said, finding that balance. And nobody's going to come to your rescue. We got, as dads, as fathers, as parents in general, we just got to find a way to get it done, you know?
Facts.
Because at the end of the day, if we don't get it done, it affects us in our household. So I love that. I love that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great episode with my man, William Locke. Will, you want to tell the people before we end where they can follow you on some great endeavors that Bank of West and some initiatives that you may have going on before we get out of here?
Man, you know, right now, I'm really just focused on life, man. I think social media is a great avenue to connect with people. I would just say that, you know, my handle is at William Locke. I'm not promoting myself as a business executive or nothing like that. I think, casual, intimate, authentic conversations like these are what I'm interested in. I think there's a lot of people that really need help right now, man. And so I love what you guys are doing. I got to tap in with you, so now I follow your account too.
Absolutely. Likewise.
And I got excited for this because it's hard right now. So I would just say, I'm here as an advocate for life, for parenthood, for difficult things that are out there. And I appreciate y'all having me. I support this mission. I think this is super dope.
Thank you. Hey, the key is we support each other, brother. One last thing, if you could give for the parents, for the fathers, even the mothers out there, anybody joining us, one bit of financial advice.
Well, cash is king, right? Is what Dave Ramsey says.
Yeah.
Dave Ramsey speaks from a space of a Caucasian older male.
Yeah.
You're not there yet sometimes, and so a couple things that I would focus on is have a budget, so know what's coming in, know what's going out. The second thing is how to make your money work for you. So how you do that is you pay off debt, right?
Yeah.
The third thing is your credit. A wise person once told me a credit score is bragging about how much money you could borrow. And that never left my head for some reason, because I've lived in the between, right? I've had the cash, credit, whatever. I think it's a balance, and that's my personal and professional opinion. That's why banks exist, right?
Absolutely.
You got to really understand what your financial power is, and want versus need is the key to how you set habits up for yourself. So do you want this or do you need it, right? And that helps you save, right?
Yeah.
Saving, paying off the debt, that's you paying yourself. If you pay $100 a month for that credit card, but you pay it off, now you pay yourself $100. And what do you use that for? You put that 15% away, right?
Right.
That constant routine and discipline will lead you down a path to home ownership, to not living check to check, to not worrying about how you're going to take care of that random thing that just popped up, right? It's really complex, but it's really not. Less is more, right? So
yeah. Biggest thing is discipline.
that's it.
Yeah.
We want the things that are really right in front of us, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, that's what I would say.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from VP of Bank of West, Mr. William Locke. We thank you for joining us. In case you guys missed out on this Just Tapping In, you can follow us at Dear Fathers or join our community, dearfathers.com/join, to catch this amazing interview on our IGTV live series. Or you can join us at our website and check out our some of our community affairs events, Books with Bourbon, as well as some of our cool merch that we have. I am your host again, That's Ambition. Thank y'all for just tapping in. Mr. William Locke, you are supported. We give you your flowers and wish you and your family nothing but success and love, brother. Thank you.
I'm about to get some merch after this, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Hey, go ahead. Go to the website, man. It's fire, too.
All right. Say less. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you. Take care.